Hey guys, it's 007 here, and I figured we'd probably do one while we were playing a match and all that. Talking about, uh, basically the whole update and all that. This is probably old news for many if you've been, like, really attached to the whole thing, but I think, I was gonna shed some of my light and opinion on basically what's happened, basically in the last week. So, the things I don't know, this is regarding the parts and FPE thing. So they finally came through, Gaijin. And I gotta say, I didn't expect them to do what they did. And there's some good parts and there are bad parts to it, obviously. And we'll talk about that. But primarily, I want to talk about the fact that. So, I mean, well, first, let's engage the things that they've changed. So, obviously, the before state of what we had in the game is we've had. You have to research parts in order to use parts, but you can do maintenance on your treads during a battle. So that's how you can fight. So effectively that's what they've got. So you can repair your treads while you're fighting. But that's all. And then FPE, in order to get any of the fire extinguishers, you have to have FPE research, and then you'll get 2 fire extinguishers. Basically, that's the system that they've had in place. So, basically, they had the whole forum up and all that. I'll probably link it in the description. Ooh. Don't get that every day. I'll probably put in the description for... Sorry, that's why I don't really do these things during combat. Oh, he got me. Can't believe that. No, so, yeah, so I have that in the description. So, basically, what they did was they changed the way things worked. So, first we'll talk about what they did module tree-wise. So, module tree-wise, what they did to fix the issue was... Now you can research parts, and once you finish researching parts, you can move on to FPE. That's effectively what they've done. So instead of having to research 2 things in order to get to the next tier, you can go right from parts down to FPE. So that's kind of nice. It speeds up the whole process. There's no bonuses. I don't really think there are any bonuses. I'm still trying to figure out some of the stuff that they've been talking about. One of the things I don't understand is so this is the mechanic. Oh, sorry. We'll talk about the mechanic because that's more of the... I mean, I'm trying to figure out how we want to do this. Summarize it at the end, but... Well, we'll summarize this all at the end. So, moving on. So, they've added the mechanic where now light tanks or specialized vehicles that are capable of repairing vehicles in combat, no matter if they're in a squad or not, have the ability to help people repair even if they don't have parts. So I guess the whole thing is people will open themselves, like put a flag up kind of thing and say, repair me. Light tank can move up and help repair the person. It's still a little bit unclear on some of that stuff. Honestly, I can't tell if they've implemented it into the game because some people have been talking about some of the stuff coming through, but I'll get on to why I don't think it's really gone on yet, but it could be partial. So that's the mechanic. So basically, light tanks or the specialized vehicles that can repair have just received more specialization, which is very nice. It's going to really, really boost the role of those vehicles. I think you're going to see people playing them more often for the fact that they can help support their team and not have to worry about their team being researched or modified to a point to fight effectively. So that's all nice and dandy what they've done. Moving on. So it's unique in that. We'll summarize why that could be an issue though. The follow-up to that is the new thing that they've done to modify research points. And I don't think they're doing credits, they're doing purely research points. But what they're doing with research points is they're removing the cap that's been on the tech tree. And for one, okay, like I said, I'll have to summarize a lot of this stuff at the end. Oh my god. Time to go. Oh, never mind. So yeah, sorry, I've never done this where I fought at the same time with doing commentary. This is a new thing for me. But so they've removed the RP cap, so that's unique in itself that they've done. So basically, you won't have to worry about being limited in a battle while you're fighting. Usually, a lot of people will have incredible games, and they will just get nothing. They'll probably get it with the same thing that they would have gotten for, like, losing or winning, you know, being at the bottom of the team. It's stuff that's pretty stupid like that. So ultimately, that's relatively good. But to summarize it all together, and before I go to that, if you want to do like a full look into what the things that they've basically modified to improve the situation, I'll link in the upper right hand corner the European Canadian, basically his video. He does a really thorough job talking about it. He puts some sense down on it. Overall, it sounds really good. Oh no. So that's basically what you can look at if you want to get a better in-depth look into what we're basically going on about. Oh my god. So we're gonna make it around here. We're probably gonna get caught. Although I think our IS6 friend snuck through. But yeah, ultimately that's been the case. So IS6 is spooking me. I guess that is the season. But so to summarize basically what I think are the pros and cons of this entire thing. So first of all, going in talking about the pros just really briefly. For the research speed and everything, I think the biggest pro that can't be really conned in the entirety of the things that they've added to modify and improve the situation was doing the tech tree research assistance. So you have the ability to research parts and then move on to FPE. They didn't make anything free, which was one of the big things I was fighting Cornerstone wise. I don't want anything to be free. Maybe some partial stuff, but not the entire ordeal. Moving on, though, so that's basically the biggest pro that I can't really put a con on. There's just nothing that could be advantageously or disadvantageous to people in that regard. Now, my second thing is the mechanic. The mechanic, I do like the mechanic because it's going to make people want to bring light tanks or the specialized vehicles to the battlefield and help support the effort on the battlefield, and that's good. We want people to be encouraged to bring vehicles that are not main battle tanks, vehicles that are designed to support and ultimately sustain the battle in the favor of the team, and that's what we want. Now here's the con. I think it's neat that they're doing this for the vehicles, but the issue I have is there's two main issues. Now one of them is we're reducing the envelope of specialized vehicles in the game, and what I mean by that is there are vehicles, there was talk about, or concepts that they would add the recovery vehicles like the Panzer or other vehicles like that to help the team, you know, replenish or repair, those kinds of things. And the gate technically is still open for that kind of vehicle, but it very much narrows down the capacity, what we can ask for, and the interest in it. Obviously they could fudge the spawn points, make it like 10 spawn points or free spawn points, send it into the battle, let it do some stuff. That's quite easily what they could do. It's not even confirmed that they're doing that stuff, but there's a lot of people that would like to see that kind of stuff. It would be neat to see the uniqueness and the support role added to the game. The other negative aspect to it, I think that's both actually. I think I might have covered both. It's hard to think with all this going on. So hold on. I covered the fact that they have alternate vehicles would be a little bit scrounged out of the deal. Oh no! So the other thing that I need to talk about is the fact that we're basically forcing team play, and the issue with that is it can really hurt an individual. No, I do agree that teams should be working together as a team, but I do not believe that solo grinding should be punished. Obviously, they want to encourage team play and squad play, and that's the best way to get effectiveness on the battlefield is having a team work together. That's why squads are really effective in these games. They can really turn the tide of a battle. But stuff like that, I just don't think you can really... it's got to be friendly to the independent player as well. That's my big worry. And that's what I liked about the concept that I had in mind, was the independent player was not disvalued in the equation. That was my primary goal when drawing up that specialized system. Moving on to the, whatchamacallit, the SP cap removal. So here's my issue with the SP cap removal. The SP cap removal is going to be a very good thing. It's going to allow people to progress through the tree relatively quickly. That's going to be helpful for many people, and obviously it will help me. I won't have to suffer that much anymore as I did previously. But the con comes into the aspect that we're really kind of forcing Gaijin's hand, and I mean I want to say we are. Gaijin's kind of forcing themselves in the respect of the way. That was funny. They're forcing their hand in regards to now people are going to progress through the tree really rapidly now. They have the capacity to speed through the tree. And that's good, but that's also kind of be bad. People relatively prefer ground forces because mostly air realistic has been completed in many people's tech trees. That's why many people have stopped doing those kinds of battles. It's really hard to get a good fight when you just simply don't have anyone to fight against. So that's one of the issues there. But moving on beyond that, I think it's going to be overall helpful. But once again, I think it's just going to be interesting. We're gonna have to get used to it. That's the foreseeable future, is we have to get used to it. That these are going to be new elements. I like the idea that we're going to encourage lighter vehicles and the support vehicles to step up. I think the RP cap's going to help people progress to the tree, and it's not going to be as painful. We're going to see people play and all that. But ultimately, the long-term effect, maybe as a pro, would be that we're going to see rank 6 be introduced for aircraft sooner, hopefully. That was a good run. Hopefully that's what we're going to see. I think Fly Daily talked about it. He thought it was pretty good. European Canadian thought it was going to be relatively good. And yeah, I think I'd agree with those statements. Now, the reason why I say I don't know if the stuff's in effect or not, because I've talked with people and they've said that they've seen the change for researching right off the bat into parts, or from parts to FPE. So that's one thing that's been people have been talking about. I haven't seen it personally, but that's what people I've been talking with have said. But however, from what I've seen right here, this doesn't seem like the RP cap's been removed yet. So that's why I'm saying that's a negatory on the those elements. But it could be partial. I don't know. It's very cloudy with some of the stuff that Gaijin says, and that's unfortunately the life we have to live. I mean, it's a Russian-based game, so they have to do a lot of translating, and getting information across the pond can be relatively hard. if we want to stay up to date. But overall, I'm pretty excited for it. I would have liked to seen them implement some stuff because that would have favored more of the independent player. But I'm not a one opposed to team play by any means. So overall, I think this is going to be a very exciting patch, and I can't wait to see it. So hopefully I'll see you guys out there. I'm 007, and I will see you guys later.